Jenny here from Riga Arts, and it's Tuesday, which means it's time for Takeaway Tuesday. Now, today I want to share something that's on my heart because I have a probing question, and I'll throw the question out there first, and then I'll talk about it. Are we cultivating a culture of self-centeredness through the music and musicals that we're putting out into the world? I have this concern because I've been checking out some of the artists that the kids think are great lately, and I'm personally having trouble connecting to their music and the stories that are being told, whether it's Disney Princess number 36 or the latest and greatest cool pop star. And I think it's because the conflict seems to constantly be centered around I want X and I can't have X, and so I'm sad. So I'm going to do everything I can to get X, and I'm going to tax everyone around me to help me get what I want. And it just feels kind of shallow, and it feels self-centered. And I feel like it wasn't always that way. And the musicals that have come down throughout the generations and been known as the great musicals had to do with very real conflicts that weren't just about that person. So for instance, let's take the perennial favorite, The Sound of Music, right? Our protagonist, Maria, in her own words, she was sent on God's errand to help this family of kids who lost their mom. And so she was about the kids. She was about the errand. And in that process, yes, she finds her heart gets probed with feelings for the captain, etc. But meanwhile, this story's on the backdrop of something bigger going on in the world as well. You have World War II, Nazi Germany, and then the captain taking his stand. So these are about characters who have real deep moral issues and moral questions that are beyond I just want something and I can't get it, right? So for instance, I saw the musical Hell's Kitchen, and there's a lot that I like about this musical. The singing is amazing. The dancing is amazing. The music is awesome. And I really love the relationship between the mother and the daughter. And I feel like that's a very real conflict, and the father, and where is he in all of this? And I love that part about it. But the part that I just could not get on board with was you have a 17-year-old protagonist, and her whole struggle in the beginning is, I just want to get out of here. And I'm thinking, come on, you're 17. Just wait a little bit and your time will come. It's not going to be that much longer. So, these conflicts of, I'm a mermaid and I just want to be a person. We need to go deeper than this, because I'm concerned that we are kind of conditioning the next generation to be all about this and make our desires just about what I want. And we're missing out on the bigger picture of what's going on in the world and what's really important in the world. And as Christians, we're also missing out on God's heart. Because first of all, if our thoughts and our emotions are consumed with this thing that I want superficially, this thing that I want because it makes me happy, it satisfies my emotions, whatever, we're not going to hear the voice of God satisfying our heart on a much deeper level. And we're going to miss out as lovers of God, as lovers of Christ. We're going to miss out on what is his heart, what's important to him. So for instance, on a grand scale, there are things going on in the world right now that should alarm us and should shake us to our core. It recently came out that there's 320,000 children missing from across the border. And I've been really surprised that there hasn't been more of a public outcry about this. And I'm going, what is going on here? We should stop everything and deal with this one issue. However, I'm concerned that it has to do with these mindsets that we have now that are about, well, yes, I see that happening, but I still want this, and this is what I want for my life. And this self-centeredness it's like a cancer that's infected our whole culture. So as artists, what can we do about it? Well, let's go back to writing stories with protagonists that go beyond themselves, that want more than just the guy or my independence from the guy. Even the musical Annie, that's another perennial favorite, even though, she was an orphan who just wanted parents, but she also wanted all of the orphans to have parents. And then she had this effect on Danny Warbucks, another person. He was changed because of her interaction with him, right? So I guess I'm just going to throw this challenge out there to those of my generation who are the writers, directors, and content creators, let's go back to creating protagonists and writing protagonists who had these deeper moral struggles. I mean, that's what made the great literature great. That's what made War and Peace great. You know, that's why Jane Eyre is great. These are people with deeper moral struggles. Les Mis, this conflict between grace versus law, right? So anyway, that's my takeaway for today that I'm throwing out there into the world, and I hope it lands somewhere. I hope it blesses you. I hope it gives you something to think about. And I hope you have a beautiful and blessed week, and we'll tune in next week for another Takeaway Tuesday.